Good morning, everybody. Welcome back to Cilinix Crypto. Hope you're all doing great, and welcome to this new video here on Bitcoin. This beautiful Sunday here, at least in terms of the weather, in terms of the market. It's a little bit worse, so that's what I wanted to talk about. This is Chainlink. We will not talk about that. We'll talk about Bitcoin and what's going on in general right now in the markets, because the markets have been very weak, right? We actually dropped down lower with Bitcoin than I expected. And we're kind of at a similar situation as last week, right? Because last week what I said is that I thought it was most likely that we would be able to hold 101,000, which was kind of the main support level, and still technically is, right? So you can look at the 12-hour time frame or the daily time frame. We still definitely have a chance to save this, and that was also the case last week. And last week I did a video talking about, I think we will actually save this, and I think we'll reclaim it. And back then I was right, but right now, to be completely fair with you, I mean, ultimately what you want to see from Bitcoin here is that this support here at 99,000, where you have the 50 EMA, you have the 0.5 FIB. It's in general, it's the previous POC. Strong support level. But what you want to see from there is that we actually are able to break back above at least like 100,700 to get back into this kind of structure or kind of area right here on top of 100,700 and between 106,000, which we were still at Friday, 2 days ago. We were still at those levels. And back then, I mean, we did know it was a high probability that we would drop down, of course, but a drop down below support I did not expect. But what we had, and what the main fear in the markets right now is kind of some sort of a trade war. I mean, yesterday, obviously, we got the news of new tariffs from the US on China, Mexico, and Canada, and that's causing quite a lot of stress in the markets. I mean, it's going to be very interesting to kind of see how the markets will open in the new week. I mean, gold, as you can see, is already at all-time highs. Or all-time highs, I mean, inflation adjusted, who knows. But you can see it at the same point of time. I mean, the stock markets already opened or already closed relatively bearish last Friday. And well, I can make some predictions, but I would say these are going to be opening much lower. And that's not and that's not the end of the world, because I still think that that stocks will be doing fine, and usually when there's a lot of afraid people in the markets, it's a bit of an overreaction. So I personally am not too afraid, but ultimately, I mean, if these tariffs are actually going to increase inflation, etc., that's going to be bullish for the dollar strength index as well, which is bearish for crypto. So there's definitely reasons to be afraid, and I would even go as far as saying, at least for altcoins, I actually don't think the bottom is in. I mean, the USDT dominance still has room to the upside to grow into, and if you look at the total 3, you can actually see we had a bearish breakout, and it looks most likely will drop down into support. So with altcoins, I would be careful. With Bitcoin, it will just completely it will be completely dependent on how the other financial and macroeconomic markets open. All right, and if we actually see some sort of a de-escalation, or if the financial markets are opening relatively steady, which I will keep you updated on that, then I think we can reclaim it. But right now, with the uncertainty we have in the markets, whereas last week I said I think it's most likely we'll reclaim support, unfortunately, today I have to say that it's most likely, or at least it should be your most likely assumption, that we will hold the bearish breakout and that will drop down lower. All right, so yes, that is a change in bias from me. But ultimately, the situation, the circumstances around the markets have changed. So then I have to adjust my bias and my opinion as well. I'll keep you updated on this, all right? Like I said, if certain things change, or if we have some sort of a decent opening to the financial markets, we can still reclaim the level, and I'll be ready for it. But for now, I think it's much better to be cautious. And also, quick shout out to myself. If you want to see some sort of a daily update on the markets, check out my X profile, which I also post on. What I'm doing right now is I'm posting some sort of a weather report every single day, where I'm talking about the markets and some things that are interesting. So if you think that's interesting, consider checking that out. Follow me. But for now, have a great Sunday. Take care and bye.